What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I'm going to be going over the new artifact perks coming in episode Heresy. But before I do that, here are the 4 weapons we're getting in Act 1 of episode Heresy. Yes, time gating is still alive and well, don't you worry. So in the first act we can get a sword, a strand healing auto rifle, area denial grenade launcher, which is arc, and I believe an arc machine gun. And then there's some old season of arrivals weapons returning. These are the Vault of Glass weapons, which are being reprised to be craftable, so you can also farm those. New trials gear, awesome, such a sick looking new SMG, super cool, and a primary trace rifle. But what we're talking about today is the Tablet of Ruin. And before I do that, just a reminder, the Game to Give link is in the description if you haven't donated and you want to get some cool emblems. So I figured I would throw that out. But yeah, let's talk about the artifact. So I already detailed all of column 1, which is unstoppable fusion, overload machine guns, piercing sidearms, anti-barrier sniper, unstoppable glaive. So if you want some good weapon suggestions, check out my video from a couple days ago. I go over a ton of weapons to get ready. But there's some other weapons that I'm going to mention for these other artifact perks because they're really, really good. So in column 2, we have overclock and load. While you are amplified or have bolt charge, arc weapons gain increased handling and reload speed. Pretty basic, but nice if you're running arc weapons. Next, we have deep alchemy. Weapons with the subjugation origin trait gain stability and reload speed for a short duration when hitting any target. These weapons are also overcharged when that modifier is active. So I think the subjugation origin trait is going to be the dungeon weapons, which I'll touch on in a second. But yeah, that's really crazy. Gain stability and reload speed when hitting any target. So very, very easy to apply. Volatile marksman, rapid void weapon precision hits and rapid void weapon final blows grant volatile rounds. Volatile rounds are very strong and they're getting a buff. Well, I guess destabilizing rounds is getting a buff, but yeah, that's really, really good. And then there's a boost. Volatile detonations grant class ability energy. So yeah, looks like we have the boost system back from like the tonics in episode Revenant. I'm not too crazy about that personally, but hopefully it's a little more user-friendly this time around. But yeah, you can boost some of these. So that one's actually looking pretty good for a column 2 mod. Just rapid void weapon precision hits, you get volatile rounds. And just a reminder, volatile rounds can deal with barrier champions. And then Legend Incarnate. Weapons with the time loss magazine origin trait gain bonus damage. These weapons are also overcharged when that modifier is active. So as long as they have that origin trait, they're getting bonus damage. So I can't see that being more than like 5%, but kind of cool. And that is on the Vault of Glass weapons. And then Unraveling Orbs. Picking up an Orb of Power or a Tangle grants strand weapons unraveling rounds. So that's pretty nice, honestly. Unraveling rounds also deal with barrier champions, and just the verb unravel is actually really good for like damage over time and even for ad clear. So Unraveling Orbs, I will be running a lot. All you have to do is pick up an orb. So as long as you have a strand weapon on, that's going to be quite strong. Then in the third column, we have Photonic Flare. Defeating an exhausted or severed target with arc damage releases a blinding burst. So blind is very strong. And then we don't know exactly what exhaust is, but I think it's going to be on the new seasonal weapons. So yeah, if you defeat an exhausted target with any arc damage, I guess, it releases a blinding burst. And then it says exhausted targets deal reduced outgoing damage, which is very similar to Sever. That's how Sever works as well. And then exhaust is applied by disrupting combatants or by weapons with the Psycho Hack or Subjugation origin traits. So there's that Subjugation origin trait again. It could be the seasonal weapon as well, but Psycho Hack is actually from the Witch Queen weapons. So something like the Enigma Glaive will also be able to exhaust, I believe. So definitely go craft one of those if you haven't. I love the Enigma. So yeah, that will be able to apply exhaust apparently. So pretty interesting. And like I said, to me, exhaust sounds a lot like Sever. And then we have Disruptor Spike, improves the effects of exhaust and Sever, lowering a target's damage output even further. So I believe Sever is 40% reduced damage. And so exhaust is probably similar. So yeah, and then it just says basically what exhaust is again. So this could be pretty strong if you're building into Sever or exhaust. And then King's Vestige. Defeating powerful Taken loads your weapon with Taken energy. The next time you fire, launch 3 Taken Seeker rounds that disrupt and exhaust targets. So as long as you defeat a powerful Taken, then you're going to be able to disrupt and exhaust targets. So yeah, obviously the seasonal activity is based around the Taken, so that could be strong in there. Dielectric, defeating arc debuff targets grants bolt charge. So let's see. It's really easy to apply Jolt, and even applying Blind like Queenbreaker is getting a buff this episode. So defeating arc debuff targets grants bolt charge. So you'll be able to get bolt charge really easily depending on your loadout. And then there's a boost. Rapidly defeating arc debuff targets spawns an orb of power and heals a small portion of health. So that's going to be really strong. I have a Geomags build in mind, and it's going to go perfect with that. It's also based around the new aspect that's coming for Warlocks, which is basically not quite an arc turret, but like an arc buddy that blinds everything. So that's going to be applying arc debuff, and then if you charge it up, it's going to spawn an orb and heal a portion of health, which is kind of the worst thing about arc, is getting your health back. So that's going to be a must on my Geomags build when I make that. Then we've got Jesus. The last one in column 3, hold the line while surrounded. Machine guns and glaives gain increased reload speed and stability, and final blows heal you. So something like Thunderlord, this could be incredible. And then while surrounded, glaive final blows. I'm not sure if that's going to work with the melee. If it does, I do have an awesome glaive build coming this weekend, and it centers around Winterbite. Winterbite is super good for getting melee kills because the melee hits super hard on that. So yeah, if the melee kills heal you, that's going to be really strong. But either way, depending on your loadout, that sounds really powerful. Like machine guns are really good for just mowing down ads. So if you're surrounded, you're just going to be getting your health back as you do that. So it's sort of like having, oh god, what is that weapon perk? Unrelenting, I believe it is. You get like 3 rapid final blows and it gives health back. That's basically what this sounds like to me. Dreadful Finisher. So this is really cool. Way back in the day, I can't remember the name of it. Lucent Finisher, I think it was. You could do a finisher on a champion or something and spawn heavy ammo. This is similar. So defeating powerful combatants with your finisher spawns special ammo for you and your allies. Defeated subjugators, tormentors, or champions spawn more ammo. So I do have another build. Let me just show you real quick. Here's my Mobalytics page. I have pre-made a bunch of builds for this season, so check out my Mobalytics page if you want early access to them. They're all live and up there right now, but the build videos will be coming out over the next week. And yeah, where was I? This Dreadful Finisher is going to be really good on my Mantle of Battle Harmony build that I have coming, because yeah, you're just going to be able to get more special ammo all the time, so that's going to be really strong for that. Maligned Harvest, rapidly applying volatile causes your next instance of void weapon damage to create a weakening burst. Rapidly applying volatile causes your next, so this is another build that I will definitely make, but Gear Falcon's Hauberk, Void Hunter is getting a new aspect that will pair great with Gear Falcons, and rapidly applying volatile is stupid easy with that. And Choir of One is an auto rifle. Auto rifles are getting a 10% buff next season. It pairs perfectly with the one we just talked about, Dreadful Finisher. So you can get finishers to get special ammo to always keep, and you could also run Special Finisher probably, and those will double dip, I would bet. And then yeah, you could run Choir of One, spread a bunch of volatile, plus Choir of One also gets destabilizing rounds. So you don't even need to run Gear Falcon if you didn't want to, because Choir is good on everything, but it's really good on Gear Falcon. So then you could rapidly apply volatile, causes your next instance of void weapon damage to create a weakening burst. So now it's going to be applying weaken, or you could run this on Prismatic and throw out a melee, so then you're getting 20% from Radiant, 15% weaken, plus volatile rounds. Yeah, so Choir 1, absolutely going to be cooking, especially with Dreadful Finisher and Maligned Harvest. And there was one over here, Volatile Marksman. Rapid Void Weapon Precision Hits. Again, that's going to pair perfectly with Choir of One. So very, very strong there. Flashover. Oh, another one I did want to talk about real quick was Collective Obligation. I know it's a raid exotic, but still, it can basically leech volatile rounds. So it's going to be able to just spread volatile like crazy. Then it will create a weakening burst. Then you can leech that the weaken, and then you're just going to be spreading volatile and weaken like crazy, basically just from 2 artifact mods. Like, you don't even have to build into it with your subclass. So that's another weapon that's looking to be really, really strong next episode. Flashover, when you gain maximum bolt charge, you also become amplified. Lightning bolts deal more damage. So there's more damage. I'm very curious how much that is, because they've said it pretty much hits like an ignition, and ignitions are quite strong. So this is looking very good. And then when you gain maximum bolt charge, you also become amplified. So nothing too crazy, but I think they are doing some reworks to amplified. So that could be nice in the right arc build. Horde Shuttle, damaging unraveled targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a threadling. So we could pick up an orb for unraveling orbs, then you're damaging an unraveled target with a weapon, and that will occasionally spawn a threadling. I already talked in my last video 2 days ago about Euphony, the Strand exotic, and I even made one earlier in the week showing a very strong Euphony damage rotation. Euphony is going to be absolutely cooking. We'll get to the 5th column artifact perk that's going to make it even better. But yeah, you can pick up an orb. It's going to give you unraveling rounds for Euphony. Then you're going to be spawning even more threadlings, like Euphony already does on every second shot, spawn a threadling. But now Horde Shuttle will help it spawn an additional threadling, which ramps its damage up even faster. Plus, it will always be overcharged as long as you're running Unstoppable Fusion, because this is for fusion rifles. Wait, this is just saying a fusion rifle, but I swear in the dev live stream, it was Unstoppable Fusion and Linear Fusion. So don't quote me on that, because they have it written differently here, but their quality assurance has been pretty dreadful lately. So we'll also touch on that at the end of the video, something I want to point out. But yeah, anyways, Linear Fusions should have Unstoppable, at least if the live stream was correct. So yeah, Horde Shuttle and Unraveling Orbs are going to be nasty with Euphony. Among other things, yeah, Horde Shuttle is just awesome in general. We've got anti-barrier or piercing sidearms as well. So something like Final Warning is also going to absolutely shred with Unraveling Orbs and Horde Shuttle. Really, this is just going to be nice on like any strand weapon. No Bell, Rapid Glaive Melee Final Blows. Melee Final Blows grants special ammo glaives additional ammo. So again, I wonder if it has to be the special ammo getting the final blows. Oh, if it just grants it. Rapid Glaive Melee Final Blows grants special ammo glaives additional ammo. So yeah, I'm wondering if you were running, like, I do have a triple glaive build out there. If you wanted to watch that video, it's on Hunter with the crab arms. But yeah, I wonder if you could get additional glaive ammo for your special glaives from Winterbite. Not sure, that'll take a bit of testing, but either way, you're going to be able to stay topped up on glaive ammo so easily, which is awesome for something like Rake Angle, which has chill clip, because yeah, you could just get melee final blows, that's going to give you ammo. Plus up here, we have Dreadful Finisher, which can spawn special ammo. So yeah, you're not going to be hurting for glaive ammo at all. Plus glaives are getting that nice rework, so definitely get some glaives ready. And then blocking damage with glaives increases their melee damage to targets. Again, I don't know how much that's going to be, but that's going to be really strong on Winterbite, because you could block, then you're going to deal more damage. And now the third swing of your 1-2-3 combo with a glaive, the third swing specifically deals 100% more damage, is what they said in a twit a while ago. So yeah, you can even do more damage if you're blocking. Again, I've got a glaive build coming out this weekend that No Bell will be absolutely perfect for. Onto the final column, we've got Void Flux. Defeating weakened targets with a void weapon applies volatile to nearby targets. Powerful targets increase the radius of the explosion, so just able to spread even more volatile. So obviously run that with those other void ones. And like I said, Choir of One or Collective Obligation, that would be great on. Even something like Graviton Lance. This is going to be really strong. Defibrillating Blast. Stunning a champion grants maximum stacks of bolt charge. Triggers an arc bolt that heals you and jolts combatants that it damages. So again, I talked about my Geomags build, but basically this just seems almost too easy to activate. Stunning a champion grants max stacks of bolt charge. Like, how easy is it to stun a champion? And then triggers an arc bolt that heals you and jolts combatants. So that's going to be really, really nice. And yeah, definitely could be strong in the right build. I also do wonder if it stacks max bolt charge if you're not running an arc super or arc subclass. I'm very curious how that works. Because obviously you can get bolt charge on prismatic, but like if you just stun a champion on like a solar build, are you going to get max bolt charge? And then, yeah, you can get your incinerator snap really fast because bolt charge gives melee energy. I don't know, but that sounds quite interesting. Heavy ordnance regeneration, dealing sustained damage to targets with a heavy machine gun or rocket launcher, grants damage resistance and increases grenade and melee regen for a short duration. So on a rocket launcher, I don't really like this unless the effect is huge for the increased grenade and melee regen, because rockets don't have a ton of ammo, but like a bipod rocket, maybe you could do this. But a machine gun, holy cow, you're pretty much always dealing sustained damage to targets with a machine gun. So yeah, if you're on like using Thunderlord on an overload champion, you're going to be able to get a lot of grenade and melee regen, which is really good on some other builds that I have coming. So that one is looking to be really good with machine guns, not so good with rocket launchers. Elemental Supercharger, defeating exhausted or severed targets with weapons that match your super element grants super energy. So I already talked about the Mantle Battle Harmony build, but yeah, defeating exhausted or severed targets with weapons that match your super element grants super energy. So that's going to be really, really good with that build. And then exhausted targets, yeah, this is just talking about exhaust again. And finally, Particle Reconstruction, dealing sustained damage with fusion rifles or linear fusion rifles partially refills the magazine from reserves and grants them bonus damage for a short duration against that target. I bet it's going to be like Sniper's Meditation. So back in the day, Particle Deconstruction was a 40% buff. You would get 8% more damage and it would stack up to 5 times. So it could go up to 40%. My guess is it's going to be like Sniper's Meditation, where it's just a 15% buff. They really like these 15% buffs because it doesn't break the game. Darcy is getting something very similar, where it can get up to 15% extra damage. So my guess for Particle Reconstruction is it will stack up to 15% more. But like I said, this is going to be extremely nasty on Euphony, because yeah, you're going to be able to pick up an orb, get Unraveling Orbs, get Horde Shuttle, get Particle Deconstruction. You have Unstoppable Fusion on it. It's just gonna absolutely shred. So very, very excited for Particle Reconstruction to make a return. So yeah, these 5th column ones actually look pretty strong. A lot better than we had this past season. I didn't think this past season's artifact was very good at all. This is much more promising, and obviously they'll be adding to it in the other acts. And then we also get new weapon mods. They're only around for episode Heresy, and here's an example. Power of Resolve. Rapid hits with this weapon create a Taken Seeker projectile, strong against Unstoppables. So these Taken Seeker projectiles sound like they stun Unstoppables. So yeah, that's just going to be able to be thrown on to any heretical weapon from the season. And one thing I wanted to talk about when I said their piss poor quality assurance, where was it here? It's under their known issues. So look at how many we have for Vesper's Host. Still 4 issues. And I made a video. I'm sure many of you saw it because it's got like 200,000 views. But I made a video talking about Justin Truman's speech at GDC, which is a game developer conference. So it was intended for game devs. But he talked about how velocity is more important. He says, even more important than quality is velocity. And I just think that is really emblematic of their mentality when you see the last dungeon still has all these issues and they just got tether fixed, and it wasn't even really a proper fix because now there's just less servitors, but they haven't rebalanced the boss health pool. So now that boss is just straight up harder to fight, especially as a solo, because they didn't rebalance anything. They just took some servitors out so that we could use tether. But now it basically disrupted the balancing of the health pool of that boss. So there's still 4 issues with Vesper's Host, and now we're getting a new dungeon next episode. So yeah, velocity over quality for sure, guys. But I did just want to talk about that. Sorry to let it end on kind of a sour note. I am excited about the artifact, but yeah, that was just pretty pathetic to me. Fix your other stuff before moving on to new stuff. But either way, I'm sure the new dungeon will be fun. Hopefully it's not nearly as broken as Vesper's Host was. That'll be a downer. As for me, I won't even be around on the day it launches. I'm at a friend's wedding in Mexico. But like I said, I do have some really good build videos lined up for you, so I hope you enjoy them. Obviously, in those build videos, I don't talk about the artifact because I'm literally just finding out about it today, and I have those videos pre-made because I leave tomorrow morning. But like I said, you guys are smart. You'll be able to figure out what goes with what. Like, here's an example. Oh, even Moth Keepers, like, that could be good again this season. But yeah, I've got this Vesper. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. So I have a Vesper of Radius build, and I pair it with Scatter Signal. Everyone back in the day went Overflow Controlled Burst, but I crafted mine with Slice because I love that 40% damage reduction that it gives with Sever. And anyways, get you a Slice Scatter Signal because it's going to go super, super hard with Particle Reconstruction. Plus you have Controlled Burst, which gives it awesome DPS. And then you're also going to be able to apply Sever from Slice. And it pairs great with that Vesper build because you're always putting your Rift down. So you're always activating Slice, and then you're able to just spread Sever. So that was one weapon I wanted to talk about. The other was VS Velocity Baton with Destabilizing Rounds and Repulsor Brace. That is going to be super nasty because, like I said, Destabilizing is getting a bit of a buff. They're reducing its cooldown, and then Repulsor Brace is just always strong, especially with the amount we're going to be able to spread Volatile. So definitely get some Repulsor Brace weapons as well. Anyways, that's it for the video. I've yapped long enough. I hope it was helpful and informative. If it was, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, sound off in the comments or in my community Discord about some build ideas you have or whatever, and yeah, let people start theory crafting so that they can be ready to go day one of Heresy and day one for the contest dungeon. And like I said, I will be back Saturday. I will be attempting that contest dungeon. Hopefully I can get it done in that 24 hours so that I can get the exotic weapon, and then yeah, I'll have a whole bunch of content to catch up on. I'll have to level up the artifact myself. Many things to do, more videos to make obviously, plus trying to catch up on the content. So yeah, the timing wasn't the best to take a holiday, but it's one of my best friend's weddings, so I wouldn't miss that. Especially, like I said, you can probably tell from my tone with the velocity thing. I'm sick of playing the game on Bungie's schedule, and yeah, I'm gonna put my life before Bungie's timeline because yeah, their time gating is just getting really exhausting. But yeah, I hope you found the video helpful, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Hey, if you're still here, then thanks so much for watching to the end. If you like what I do and you want to support me further, then consider becoming a channel member. You'll get your name featured on the end screen, custom badges, and other cool rewards. You can also join my community Discord if that interests you, and if you want to see me stream, be sure to follow me on Twitch at itstizzle7 where I stream semi-regularly. Those are linked in the description. Anyways, that's enough self-promotion. Thanks for watching. Take care.